Hello, everyone. You are watching the Kaiser Report. Kaiser and I have come to you today with a few things that are going on in advance of the great No Kings March that will be taking place around this country in several places, especially Washington, D.C., where Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer think that this is going to help the plight that they are whipping up with regard to lying to us all about what the government shutdown was really about. We all know now what the government shutdown was about, and it's about Schumer getting his own way and his fear of the fringe left that has taken over the party of the Democrats, and they all live now in fear of being found out for what they have done or failed to do in the past, and it's plain and simple that their shutdown is so they can get $1.5 trillion to put back programs that were found extremely wanting after they were measured by DOJ and this administration that holds dear what we pay for in taxes and protects us from the thievery that is going on by everything that was Democratic in the last 4 years, and then before that, 8 years of Obama. We know there was a lot of waste and fraud. It's being uncovered daily. But the hatred for this president is what keeps them thinking that they're going to change everything over into a socialistic program that may benefit some, but will not benefit the society that is the working, taxable society in this country. It also takes care of their pet project of all of the illegals that are still left in this country that have not been found yet, but are in the process of doing so, while the Democrats fight against our law enforcement, ICE agents, and Border Patrol from doing the job that they were sworn to do. The protection of our citizenry is tantamount on this administration's list of things to do. We are safe, and we're a lot safer in the cities where they have been allowed to perform the work that they set out to do, and that would be cities such as L.A., Chicago. They're working on Oregon, and soon New York City will become a communist community if this man Danny has any hope of being elected at all. If you watch some of the debates yesterday between Cuomo, Suella, and Mandani, you'll quickly see that he got a little nervous there. Couldn't answer the questions of how he was going to pay for all of the freebies that he wants to give everybody, and then had the audacity to say that bus drivers will be safer if there's no fee to ride a bus in New York. How does that add up? Obviously, he has no experience. The other two on the stage that do have a monicum of experience that could help the city of New York have things going against them, such as the money that is backing Mandani and the ignorance of Cuomo as he's set as governor of the state of New York, and the things and programs that he allowed to take place under his administration. It's unbelievable. Then we have Obama out talking about cleaning up cities of Chicago and the like, and how it's not conducive to peace and helping that city along. Well, I would like to know why the people of Chicago are calling it Obama's Death Star, and that is his presidential palace that he was supposed to be building for himself for a presidential library at $600 million in cost overruns. And it looks like, I don't know what it looks like, something out of Star Wars. It's not near complete, and I would not be hanging my hat as a past president after having spent that much money on a monstrosity that takes away from the city that he's putting it in. And then he doesn't want the crime cleaned up. It was the overruns were spilling over daily because of the DEI hires that were mandated that could only work on that building. Didn't go for people that knew what they were doing. And I'm sure that there's a few illegals on that construction crew that's out there now. And this is one of the reasons why Obama and his Death Star are not going to make it. Let's take a look here.
What the f*** is this piece of shit?
That is a monstrosity beyond anything I've ever seen. I hope he's proud of his accomplishments, both in his time in office and now his presidential legacy that he thinks is so grand in the state of Illinois. We really don't know where he came from. We don't know much about his background other than what came out and was hushed up. A manufactured politician. We're seeing a dime store Obama cropping up in New York with Zoltar over there. Oh, yeah, he has the smile and he has the slickness and the speechwriters to allow him to get up and be the next Obama. But I would take a long, hard, deep look if I were voting in the 5 boroughs of New York. And for those of you not familiar with the boroughs of New York, you have the Bronx, you have Brooklyn, you have Staten Island, you have Queens, and these are bastions of the working people that can no longer afford to live in Manhattan. Manhattan is a beautiful place to live, and at one time was somewhat affordable. You could rent apartments there, however small, but you could afford to do that. That's no longer the situation. And I guess if you have a home there and Mandani gets elected, you're going to have to share that home with people to go along with the Marxist program that he will usher in. We've seen the likes of what Kamala Harris could have done to this country, along with tampon Tim Walz, who MSNBC loves putting on all the time because they believe that he actually has something to say, or it is a satirical look at what could have been had he been elected in the last election. But he makes a fool of himself continually, and it doesn't get any better. And now he's out talking about the plight of the American farmer and wants to blame everything on the Trump administration. We all know now what the truths really are, and we all know that he could not tell the truth if he was forced to. So MSNBC had him on the other night, and I'll show that to you here. So let's take a look.
The irony of this whole thing is, and I continue to say this, of all of Donald Trump's failures and the biggest myth, that this guy understands business. He's an absolute abject failure at business.
You are stupid.
And this is a man-made crisis. The farm crisis, I think it rivals the 1980s. We had the Farm Aid concert out here with Willie Nelson.
That's an interesting pronunciation.
And to make this worse is the number of acres that Brazil and Argentina planted have gone up. I'm glad I'm seeing farm communities stand up and speak out on this, and we're going to need some courage. All of this nonsense could be stopped. I haven't seen anything like it since I've been in this. I served on the Ag Committee in Congress for 12 years, having been in farm country in the 1980s. We have got bankruptcy skyrocketing, and
your ability to articulate never ceases to amaze.
He's an incredible individual that loves the language but just doesn't know how to speak it. And it's evident every time he opens his trap, and his ignorance of the plight of anyone, especially our agricultural producers in this country, are very limited. We, the people, understand the plight of agricultural farmers in this country. We watched them being eaten up by Archer Daniels Midland and a lot of other areas around that decided to back conglomerations in place of what was the family farm. They've made it so that the prices of fertilizer, seed, farm equipment, and everything far outpaces any increase in the crop prices or the export of crop prices, which are so badly needed right now. And this is what all the tariff situation that is being discussed is all about. The farm bailout that we're being or has been discussed by this administration is being held up by a government shutdown, all waiting for the No Kings movement so they can think that we're all going to buckle in and give them their $1.5 trillion to do with whatever program, silly program that they want to stick it in, or give free health care to everyone in this country, as Bernie Sanders is railing on about continually. This means the illegal people in this country that are hiding out, trying not to be rounded up by ICE, are going to get free health care. To heck with you if you're out there working 2 and 3 jobs with a family and paying your taxes, if you can't get health care because they want to renew the travesty that was called Obamacare and utilize this money to push more mandates on working people, while the louts that lay at home or the illegals that are in this country not paying a cent in taxes get free health care. And to tell you every day out of their mouths that these people are suffering and going to die away because of the lack of Obamacare being given to the illegals is a lie. And we know it's a lie because you can go to any emergency room and find people without insurance that's sitting in the emergency rooms and have to be treated. No one is turned away. No one is being cut out of anything that they deserve. If you deserve it, then you follow the rules and you go to work or volunteer somewhere. There are 4 or 5 different avenues that you can exercise to stay on Medicaid if you need to, and you qualify for it. But for people that crash the border and just lay around doing, in some cases, shoplifting everything they need, are not qualified to be on Medicaid. And someone needs to explain that to Hakeem Jeffries, who continually goes on about how many people are going to die or go without health care. It's a lie. It's a cover-up for them to get their way. And they think that Donald Trump is going to back down on this shutdown because they can orchestrate and pay for marches on Washington or any other city in this country and call it the No Kings movement.
Mr. Leader, again, the longest shutdown was during the first Trump presidency. This is what you said at the time about that particular shutdown. Here it is.
Prepare to be embarrassed.
We are willing to take what Senate Republicans have done in order to reopen the government so that we no longer are holding 800,000 federal workers hostage.
Well, that's exactly what you're doing right now. Hundreds of thousands of workers are being held hostage.
That's gotta hurt.
What's changed from then to now?
Well, actually, Donald Trump is the president. Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They can reopen the government if they chose to.
That's a lie!
We know we don't have kings. We know Donald Trump is not a king or a wannabe king. The kings are people like Schumer, AOC, Hakeem Jeffries, and Bernie Sanders. They want to be the king of the hill, and I mean Capitol Hill. And these are the people that should be being marched on. Certainly not the President of the United States. It's almost amusing if it was not so sad. So let's take a look at what it all means.
Yeah, please.
Following up on that, when you
I didn't say you. You CNN fake news. Go ahead.
We will organize the American people around the concept that all people in this country have the right to health care.
Senator, would you include the 11 million undocumented immigrants?
Absolutely. When I talk about health care being a human right, last time I heard that undocumented people are human beings as well.
Get back!
That means we're going to make our public colleges and universities tuition free and open that to the undocumented as well.
government is a greedy piglet that suckles on a taxpayer's teat until they have sore, chapped nipples.
But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Am I interrupting something important?
Impossible. I work for the government.
And that is what it all means anymore around this country. And then, speaking of people from our Congress, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, want to use the phrase, it's for the American people. It's for the American people. They continually repeat this, all whilst they want to line up a program to take care of the non-American people that are here illegally and peppered through this country into blue states and sanctuary cities that they can benefit. And the benefit to the Democrats, such as these two Tweedledum and Tweedledee, is voting. They think that that's their new voting population. They're being given driver's license illegally, and in some cases, commercial driver's licenses when they can't read a street sign or have no experience in a tractor trailer, and there's already been deaths around this country as a result of that. Take a look into Florida. California is very free and easy with their driver's licenses to any illegal. New York State is doing the same thing, and probably the rest of the sanctuary states around are guilty of the same thing. When does it end? I don't know, but it has nothing to do, this shutdown has nothing to do, and it's not all for the American people. It is for the Democratic Party and the fringe side of the Democratic Party that is so far left that they might as well have Marxists written on their shirts when they're out talking to people. So let's take a look at Tweedledee and Tweedledum here.
We are fighting for the American people. The Republicans can talk all the political stuff they want. We're on the side of the American people.
Gee, I've never heard that before.
We're on the side of the American people.
Stick it to the American people.
So the American people...
Because the American people are suffering.
We are on the side of the American people.
Of the health care of the American people.
We are fighting for the American people.
Makes life better for the American people.
That's not what the American people want.
Still going.
The American people are seeing that.
Guts the health care of the American people.
In terms of cost to the American people.
In defense of the health care of the American people.
So many things that are important to the American people.
That actually makes life better for the American people.
We need strong safety for the American people. The American people are in a crisis. Look, the bottom line is we are fighting for the American people.
We all have moments of deja vu, but this was ridiculous.
These guys can cry all they want that it's for the American people. It's for the Democratic Party and a few in the Democratic Party that feel like they're being moved away from their positions and seats of power, which after 40-some years sitting in those seats should be vacated. It's plain and simple, but yet a large percentage of our population that doesn't bother to vote and may have a brain sitting on their shoulders need to wake up and realize it's time for God to come back in this country, and it's time for true looks at exactly where our money is being spent, and hold some fiduciary responsibility for those that have been in charge and messed up. We need governance, real governance, not one that favors one party over another or one person over another. We need governance for our own well-being, and that is you and I, the taxpayer, the people who put these people in office and expect them to actually do a job that we sent them there to do. But it is a large club, and it's a club for members only. And when they get in this club, they're quickly taught the ways of the Capitol Hill, what you can and can't do, what you can and can't get away with. And people that are sending elected officials such as AOC and Talita Rashid and Ilhan Omar and people of that nature into our government to try and bring down our Constitution need to be reconsidered in the next election. We're not telling you which way to vote, but we're telling you, get out and vote. And if you're not happy with what you're seeing right now, which if you have a monicum of common sense about you, you will quickly wake up and realize we're not in a good situation here. We have an administration that is trying to stop world wars that are going on around this globe, all while we have a Democratic Party trying to whip up a civil war on our own shores, based on the fact that they lost an election, based on the fact that they are so eaten up by Trump derangement syndrome that they cannot think properly anymore. And their gravy train has run into a small problem. The tunnel to their prosperity is shut down as long as Trump is in the way. This is what's driving the No Kings movement. This is what's driving all of what you see take place every day that is scary and bad. The media wants you scared and afraid of everything, up to and including your climate and hurricanes and the like, that they would like you to live in fear, not sleep well. But I have a cure for that. Say a prayer every night and thank God and his Son Jesus Christ for your peace of mind. Ask for your peace of mind. Ask the Holy Spirit to come into your heart. And then you will be a calm individual and able to think in the right fashion if you ask for the guidance from above. You're not going to get any politician that is going to give you the guidance for your own peace of mind that goes directly against their plan of action to keep you in fear, guessing, and dependent on one party or another for your livelihood, your health care, and the like. Health care begins at home. What you eat, what you intake, and what drugs you're playing with are a direct problem for your health. And most people that do not eat correctly and guzzle down things like Mountain Dew 2 and 3 times a day, you're not doing your health any good, and you will end up in an emergency room at some point. So listen to what is being done by our health agencies now that are trying to clear up the problems and the poisons in your food and explain to you about autism and things that are affecting young people today. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I certainly would not want 12 different vaccines put into my 6-month-old or 6-week-old child because a politician tells you that that's the thing to do, or you have to. Pray every day for guidance. It will come. Pray every day for your health and what the right things are to eat and imbibe in. If you're dependent on completely eating at McDonald's 3 meals a day, you may be harming yourself. And that goes for all the fast food restaurants. I don't mean to just pick on McDonald's here. It just comes to mind because I've never passed the McDonald's that didn't have a block-long line going around the pickup window. Prepare family meals in the evening. Sit down with your family and get together. Discuss what's going on. They may have an idea that you may be helped by, and vice versa. Get back to family values, get back to God, and get back to thinking properly, and don't vote for a career politician. Because chances are that's all they know is how to raise money and get elected. Vote for the person who has shown to be somewhat responsible either in business or some walk of life that will benefit being in our Congress for a term or two. And for God's sake, let's get some people in our lawmaking side that can put term limits onto our Congress so we don't end up with a senile Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and people that have been sitting there for 40, 50 years making poor decisions on behalf of us, all while enriching themselves and telling you that they care about the American public. So, of late, the news has reported that Alec Baldwin, one more time, has got himself in harm's way. He smashed his car up and tried to blame a garbage truck for it. It's like we didn't see the film when they put it up on all the news networks. So he's out with a deranged, I guess, TikTok that he's put out, which made no sense. He's a deluded individual. So I thought I would just show that to you, and then we'll go right into a short, stupid town today. Take a look here.
Video you will see only here on Newsmax. We've just obtained exclusive dashcam video showing the moment actor Alec Baldwin crashed his SUV on the east end of New York's Long Island. The video is from the front-facing camera on a commercial truck. You're seeing the truck here making what's believed to be a legal right turn, and then it slows down.
Seconds later, Baldwin's SUV is seen hitting a mailbox and a tree off to the right side of the truck. The actor, an outspoken Trump hater, claimed on social media that he was driving his wife's Range Rover with his brother Stephen Baldwin in the passenger seat. He said he was trying to avoid hitting this truck, so he veered off the road into the tree.
This morning I was in this car accident. Guy cut me off in a truck, a garbage truck. I mean, a garbage truck the size of a whale. I've never seen a garbage truck. It must have been something commercial for like taking away material from construction or something. It was the biggest garbage truck I've ever seen. Anyway, I won't go into the details now and bore you, but to avoid hitting him, I I hit a tree. I hit a big fat tree and crushed my car, my wife's car. I crushed my wife's car. I feel bad about that, but it's all fine, and I'm fine, and my brother's fine, and blah. Congratulations to everybody on the film festival. Thank you to the East Hampton Police Department, the town police department, for coming to my aid. They came in and we filed a report with them. Officer Gherkin is his name. Lovely guy, but Officer Gherkin from the East Hampton Police Department. As nice as can be and as pleasant as can be about the whole thing. And my wife's car is pretty smashed up. Big tree, big fat tree. And I'm going to LA to see my family. Can't wait. I went out to California to gather my family together, spend a few days out there, and then come home. And I'm still so proud of my wife. Hilaria, I love you more than anything, and I'm very proud of you. Okay, I'm fine, other than bye.
And now it's time to take the exit.
Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
First of all, congratulations.
I don't take
questions from ABC Fake News. After what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States, I don't take questions from ABC Fake News. Brian, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
JD went through a very friendly interview with George Stephanopoulos, who was nice enough to pay me $16 million the last time we came. He had to pay $16 million to me, which was good. It was worth it. It was worth having somebody lie. If you get $16 million, that's good.
Well, some people have actually said I was the most qualified candidate ever to run for president. I'm just speaking fact. Yeah.
Do you like to visit Argentina soon?
I do. I would love to. I'm just a little busy. I'd like to be like Biden. I'd like to go to the beach. You know? My legs are not quite as thin as his. My legs are slightly heavier. My arms are slightly larger. My body is a little bit larger than his. I'm not sure it would be appreciated on the beach, but I'm not going to take a chance. You won't see in a bathing suit sitting on a beach in Argentina, falling down, not being able to lift a 3-ounce chair, meant for old people to lift, and he couldn't lift it, so we had a problem. He spent too much time on a beach. Somebody told him that he looked good in a bathing suit.
Soon, Trump will lose, go to prison, or I don't know, have a heart attack. I'm not sure.
We call it the hamburger.
I don't know what his demise is going to be,
hamburger.
but he'll have his demise. And the question will still be there. Who are we as Democrats?
Usually, the mentally retarded are divided into classifications: the educable, the trainable, and the custodial. Obviously, we can only assess the abilities or potential of the mentally retarded on an individual basis. Seemingly random motions and movements are fairly common among the custodial retarded, and they may take many forms. Sometimes there are motions which seem to have no meaning whatever, and may even cause unintentional self-inflicted injuries. The vast majority of the mentally retarded are intelligent enough that they can be taught a great many things. However, there's a wide range of ability even among those considered educable. And their ability to learn obviously varies according to their level of intelligence. Equally important is a stimulating environment. However, we must remember to set realistic standards that are not too high for the individual. Many of the trainable retarded can learn to take certain kinds of household responsibilities, some of which may be more complex than they are usually given credit for. It would be wrong to expect a mentally retarded person to become a master craftsman. The standards are too high. But even in the skilled trades, for example, the mentally retarded can be trained to become valuable assistants. Who are the mentally retarded? They are people. They come in both sexes and in all sizes, shapes, creeds, and colors. Wherever people live, there also live the mentally retarded.
If you're an American who is considering leaving the country to move somewhere else, make sure that the location you choose isn't based off of fear and lack mentality. I regret moving to Costa Rica. It's a beautiful country. I love the nature and wildlife, but moving to a third world country where I don't know the language, I don't have any connections, resources, or opportunities, that didn't make my life any easier by any means. I was just so scared of what's going on in America politically. I was in fight or flight. I was like, how am I gonna afford to survive? Like, how am I gonna find a place to live? Freaking out. And then I came here and made my life so much harder. And now I'm trying to go back, and I just like wish I didn't leave in the first place. And it's so weird to like want to move to America right now with everything that's going on. I just left so many privileges and resources behind, and I want them back. It sucks, but I kind of grew up in an interesting way. I was like poorest person in the wealthiest rooms throughout most of my childhood. I was extremely wealthy till I was like age 6. Beautiful waterfront mansion with a private beach and pool. My parents got divorced and I ended up with a parent who didn't have money. We were living out of like trailers and hotels and lower income housing. I was still in these really wealthy situations. Like I was in private school and cotillions and dance lessons. And I always thought that I was so poor because I was the poorest person that I knew. Now that I've traveled, I've seen like real poverty and I'm like, oh, I wasn't poor. But my first introduction to Costa Rica, it was like when I was 17 years old. I came with my friend's family and we stayed at exclusive resorts. We were having lunch at the Four Seasons, and like same with my Hawaii experiences. Family friends took me and we stayed at the Grand Wailea and the Hyatt, all these really fancy luxury resorts. Living in Nonavale or Pahoa is very different than taking a vacation. I've really realized how privileged I've been. I left a lot of resources and great people behind, and I need to be in those environments again. I really miss luxury environments.
I hope you enjoyed Stupid Town today. It is Friday, the 17th day of our government shutdown, and I know they're holding fast for the big No Kings movement that's going to take place, which is nothing more than a sham, a Schumer sham, to make you believe that they're doing something on your behalf so they can get money to take care of the people that are important to them. And the people that are important to them are the criminals that are running around the streets of sanctuary cities, and in some cases, bringing death to those cities. They want to take care of those people. It's been shown by the Democratic senators that visited down into foreign country jails to try and get them back. Don't forget Kilmore, that they tried to paint as a Maryland family man. And the murderers and that were let out of jails after they had been caught with other crimes in this country, in the sanctuary cities, put back in the streets to do more harm and maybe even kill again. It's unbelievable what we have put up with and watched happen for 4 years. And the bullets that we dodged in not bringing in Kamala Harris and that moron Tim Walz, we ought to be happy for. And if you're so inclined to tune into one of these No King movement things that are going to be full of paid agitators, paid people to just show up, and they're counting on the numbers to get the government in this administration to buckle into their demands, and they really forgot who they're dealing with here. You cannot threaten Donald J. Trump and win. That should be clear and evident to them, but they cannot get over the fact that he is there and he is our president. They lost, and we must tell them often, you lost, let this man work. And when that happens, we're going to have America the Great again. We're on our way. God's back at our back, and we have wind in the sails. And the Democrats don't realize it yet, but they are destroying themselves from within. It's not your father's Democratic Party anymore. It's a Marxist movement, and you'll see that this weekend in these protests. Make no mistake. Do not give them the time. And as far as fake news, you saw fake news right there in Stupid Town today, and I hope you enjoyed that. There's more to come. We'll be back here on Monday morning to say thank you for tuning in. Remember to subscribe to this channel. Give us plenty of comments. Tell me what you think, and we will talk about it. We're open for debate here always. And until Monday, stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report for more great information and a few chuckles around this country and the rest of the world. Bye-bye. May God bless you all. Have a great weekend.